Have you ever seen a car or truck that was just restored to the point where it was better than new, better than factory? Those are special kind of people, just incredible pride of ownership. I like that. Let's go meet Bill and Becky Hall with their 1960 B110 named Luigi. And this thing is better than new.
I'm William Hall. I'm from Monterey, Tennessee originally, and got married, got a divorce, married this lady, moved out here on the farm, and always built Chevrolet trucks. When I retired, I couldn't find a Chevrolet truck that I wanted to build, 55 through 59. And a friend of mine, I towed this in for him, and he couldn't get it to run right. So I ended up trading him out of it. Traded him 2 old cabin chassis and a go-kart for it, and brought it home, and I did the same thing he did. I checked everything I could understand about an engine trying to get it to run right. It didn't run right. Kept popping back through the carburetor. So I got online and asked around, what am I doing wrong? First entry back to me was, how are you timing it? Timing it on number 1 cylinder, 10 degrees fore-top dead center. No. What? International Harvesters time on number 8 cylinder at top dead center. And I went,
Well, there you go.
no way, man. I had never heard of that. Timed it, smoothed out, started running good. Smoked like a tar kill, but it still ran good. Rebuilt engine to get, had 286,312 miles on it. And it was original miles. I thought it was 28,000, but it don't have tents on the speedometer. I called around trying to find out what I had. Couldn't find anything. Finally found one in British Columbia, Canada, a 1959 model that was a B100. At George's Toys, a museum, International Harvester Museum. So I called him. I said, George, I got a question and wonder what I've got. He said, well, you tell me. Got a 1960 International Harvester B110. He said, ooh. I said, okay, I want to know if it's worth putting any money into. He said, well, keep going. Says, has it got a V8 or a 6-cylinder? I said, V8. He said, oh my goodness. He says, it got any chrome on it? I said, yes, sir. It's got some chrome down the door and behind the door. He said, one more question. It got any little emblems on it say custom? I said, yes, sir. On each door, there's a little gold emblem. He said, well, you have the rarest, second rarest truck International Harvester ever built. I would love to have it. Mine's a 6-cylinder because they would not let us sell V8s in Canada. I sold this truck new that I've got in my shop, and that truck you have was probably a dealer-owned truck. I said, so I can put a little money into it? He said, you can put anything you want to into it and probably get your money back.
Get your money back.
In 2015, I retired from wreckering and started working on this.
There you go. So when you said it has a V8, is it a 304? What is it?
It's a 266, which was the original V8 that International Harvester came out with.
Did you do all this yourself?
I did all but the paint and body work. I did some of the body work, but I did the paint work. I restored it, took the frame off.
Okay.
I started with the frame and sandblasted it myself and painted it, and used some rust proofing and things like that.
How many hours would you say you have in it?
Countless.
You don't know.
It took 4 years from start to scratch.
Okay.
The first time it went on the road was 2019.
When you were restoring it did you use OM?
As many as I could find.
Okay, so it's very original, I would imagine.
It's very original. The steering column is a tilt column, and I put an automatic in it because it had an old 3-speed.
What is it about International Harvester for you that, obviously looking around here, there's other ones that you become to love so much?
The rarity of them, the fact that when you get to a car show or to a cruise in or whatever, people will look at you and say, I never knew International built trucks.
Now, what would you say was the most challenging part of building this?
Probably the finding parts, original type parts. Like the engine would have cleaned up at 12 thousandths over. We had to bore it 60 thousandths over to find. We found a set of pistons in California, the machine shop. This machine shop had a new old stock set of pistons. So the machinist told me, he said, I hate to do it, but you know, we're going to bore it out to 60 thousandths. I went, ouch. I said, isn't it going to run hot? He said, no, Chevrolets will run hot. But the way International built their motors, I could bore it 180 thousandths. And I went,
Okay.
wow.
Wow. You also, which I love too, is you have a lot of paperwork. You documented a lot of this process, right?
I have every part that I bought, where I bought it, what dealer had it, whether it was new old stock, whether it was replacement, whether it was repop, you know, rebuilt. So
There's somebody that's along for the ride with you.
yes.
Now, I think every time I've ever seen at least this truck, the two of you have been together.
Pretty much so. I never thought she would be into car shows. She'll talk to people about the car, about the truck.
Well, what I think is interesting too is I think every time I've seen you two, you always give me something. And I think you guys hand out, I don't know if it's for like a car show or like you just gave me something a couple minutes ago. I thought was the coolest for my glove box. I mean, you guys are those types of people where, you know, you see you guys and
we want to spread the International news.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a love affair.
How often do you drive it?
If the weather's fine, I'll drive it to car shows.
Okay.
We've taken it just on Sunday cruises, things like that. It's got right at 6,000 miles in 4 years of driving.
Wow.
So it does get drove.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. What would you say your absolute favorite part about it is?
other people, seeing their reaction to an old truck coming at them, and you'll get thumbs up, you'll get, you know, waves, we even had people on the interstates, first time I took it to the Nationals, they would pull past us, see what it was, and back up, and somebody be taking pictures out the side of the car, you know, which that was fun.
Yeah. And I can't remember, but I noticed it when you were backing in here again. What's the dealership that's engraved in the...
Jackson Truck and Tractor.
Okay.
It was originally bought in Jackson, Tennessee. It built in Springfield, Ohio. Trained to Memphis, trucked to Jackson.
That's cool. Did they always do that on those bumpers back then?
No, that was special deals that dealers did. They didn't come with rear bumpers unless you ordered them special. So what the dealers would do is they would order the trucks without bumpers. Then they turn around and put their dealer bumper on it
I got you.
that they had engraved or etched or whatever they do to them.
Okay. And it actually has a name, right?
Yes, I named it Luigi.
Why'd you name it Luigi?
Well, my children were into Mario Brothers, etc.
Yeah.
And one day when I was wreckering, I had it sitting in the front yard. And I came up the driveway and I looked over at the truck. It had rust and everything in different places, and it looked like it had a mustache and the eyes
That's
and
funny.
everything. And I just said, I'm gonna name you Luigi.
And there you go. I love it. If you were to do this again, what would you do differently?
I don't know that I would do anything differently. I'd like to, in a way, I'd like to keep it perfectly original. It would not have been as, it wouldn't have popped as well. It wouldn't have shown up as well, the colors and things.
I love it.
These are close to original colors. It's the closest I could find.
Now, I know I mentioned that, there's some other ones around here. Can we go through them again? So we had, this, your wife's is that's a...
Okay, I started out with Luigi.
Okay.
Then I had the wild idea I would buy a truck. I found one online that was a rollback that's a 61, has the same cab as Luigi. I was going to make that into a real shiny rollback, paint it up the same and everything. Put Luigi on it, carry it to shows. I thought that'd be neat. One day my wife and I were talking, she said, I really want my own truck. I said, okay, what do you want? She said, I want my birth year. So I started looking for a 57 International Harvester. I found one in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and it was 1957, and it's blue. That's
Boom.
my favorite color, and her favorite color too.
Yeah.
So then we got a 1957 A100, and then for our 30th wedding anniversary, we bought a Scout Terra, which is in the front yard in process.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it'll be running this year well enough to take on the road.
Yeah. Now, this is the last question I ask everybody, and I know the answer. Would you ever sell this truck?
I've always said I would sell everything for a price. I'm not sure about this one. Right now, our plans are to put it in a museum if something happens to me.
Yeah.
International Harvester is building the museum up in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I've talked to Ryan about putting it in there. And they have a pretty good plan to where my family can still own the truck.
Okay, they'll just be displayed there.
But they will keep it stored. And I had a guy at the first International Harvester Nationals I took it to offer me $80,000 for it.
And you said no.
And I told him, no, I'm not through playing yet.